Vlad Kirschenbaum. I go by One as my artist name. The inspiration for that comes from the street. I work with spray cans and graffiti materials, so cokies and spray paint that I use for street art. I started painting quite later in my life, so around 2017. And I qualified as an architect, but never practiced. So my art is an expression of my architectural knowledge and understanding. Yeah, street art and graffiti is a very interesting one. For me, it's an open space or open air gallery. So art can be explored and seen by everyone freely. It's also the most harsh way of curation, because you can work on a mural or in a graffiti piece and the next artist doesn't like it and he goes over it the next day. So it's quite a brutal curation to a very large extent. So you really have to put your best out there, otherwise it's going to get wiped. Street art is actually has 7 forms, which include graffiti, tagging, paste, stencil, graffiti writing, murals and installation. I personally prefer the murals, the more invested kind of art, because it allows people to explore quality art without any cost. They can walk in the street and enjoy murals, installation on a proper manner. I personally prefer the higher end, properly done murals. So I don't really practice in the street. I take inspiration from street art. I've done mural, I've done installations, but I want to try and bring street art and the techniques and the tools into more fine, more refined space. So I use canvas or board. I even use glass as a form to spray on. And I try and find perfection in spray paint, in outlining, to the point that it almost looks like it's a digital print, more than a human-made piece. I do leave imperfection in the piece to make sure that people can see it's not digitally made. I see life as a very complex structures and layers. So we as humans navigate through those structures. So from the physical world, where building and streets are defined structure, which we navigate our daily through. My painting is more of this emotional, psychological navigation that we as humans have to do through life. So I use those very clear geometrics, shapes and very colorful shapes to try and explain this navigation. Shapes and colors that come from my studies, from my previous practice, are embedded in my DNA. So I don't use any measuring tools or laser tools to create my shapes. I use freehand masking tape and use my well-trained eye to get straight lines, square shapes. So I don't use any of measuring tool for that. It's done freehand, and that comes for years of training and practice to see shape in a geometric format and in 3D. I enjoy the process. I also enjoy the position of my pieces. They're close to the street. So they also kind of can view it when you drive past the gallery. They're adding color to the black walls, and it's been a great relationship. I enjoy people calling me and say, "Oh, I've seen your piece while driving past on Albert Road. I think that there's one rule that should apply to anything you do in life, and that's consistency. That everything is a journey, and you have to constantly arrive at the task. So you can't let small failures and not quick enough success to derail you from your task. You have to be consistent. You have to keep appearing. You have to keep on painting. You have to keep on exploring until you create the path. Art must be accessible, and we need to educate people to collect. There's enough institutions and there's enough places where artists can learn to become an artist. There's not enough platform to teach people to collect. And I think that the more people collect, the more the art world and the artists can benefit from that. I've gone through Corona, which at that time I focused on different stuff. There was very much like locked in the studio vibe, and now it's a little bit more color for me, adding more layers. As I see my painting, as I said, my painting is an expression of what goes in my mind, and my mind is very layered. So I'm trying to get more three-dimensional feeling to it, a little bit more lost feeling in my painting, so you're not sure if the pieces come at you or you enter into their world. And I'm going to carry on experimenting while introducing new elements that are more cleared to the viewer what they are, stuff that people can relate to and immediately say, okay, I know what that item is, and not only in the abstract manner.
Okay, thank you so much.
Cool, you happy?
Yeah,
Awesome.
nice.
Great stuff. Thank you very much. Good question, boy.
Yeah. Can I get your Instagram also?
Yeah, my Instagram is 1KONEK collection.
Collection.
Oh yeah, I can write.
Yes, this one, right? Architectural
And cut.
You gotta love this.
Yeah.
Do you have a couple of